Great to be back. I got to tell you, I've been married to my wife, Tammy, for 33 consecutive years. Just one after another. Thank you. And when you've been with a person that long, you learn to trust their instincts. So when she said to me a while back, you need to get diagnosed now. I said, for what? I feel fine. She said, that attention deficit stuff. I know you got it, and it's driving me insane. So I said, why now? She goes, what do you mean, why now? I said, well, if I got attention deficit, I've had it for 60 years. I've had it my whole life. It's not a virus. You can't catch it on a toilet seat. It's not like you go to the bathroom in a mall and you come out 2 days later and you go, boy, I'm so distracted. Where did that come from? I don't know. So why are you bothered about it now? She said, because you keep telling me you'll do things around this house and you don't do them, and it's driving me nuts. That's not attention deficit. That's passive aggressive. And I've had that for 63 years. But I honored my wife, because that's what a man does, sir. That's right, you do, right? You honor your wife. I went and got diagnosed. I spent an hour with a psychologist. After an hour, it turns out, not only do I have attention deficit, I'm also a functioning hypochondriac. Functioning, I'm not clinical. Those people are sick. But this is how God protects his children. It's my ADHD that keeps my hypochondria functional. On those days I've convinced myself I need an ambulance. By the time I get to the phone to call one, I've been distracted 4 or 5 times. I usually wind up in the kitchen. I got a telephone. I can't remember why I got a telephone. And that's when I order the pizza. So, my kids love me. Dad's dying again. Really? Pepperoni pops. And Tammy mocks me. She does. She makes. We'll be laying in bed watching Discovery Channel and some strange new disease. Not 4 minutes into it, she leans over. You got it yet? Thinking about it. What's a nodule? I could have nodules. I don't even know what a nodule is. Oh boy, I'm feeling noduly all of a sudden. That's when the kids are yelling, breadsticks, shut up, you punks, I could die on you. We've been married 32 years, and my father gave me one really wise piece of advice before I got married, and it's held true for 32 years. On my wedding day, my father said to me, before you argue with your new wife, and you're gonna argue with her, before you do, take some time, step back, ask yourself 2 questions. Do you wanna be right, or do you wanna be happy? Right. And then he broke down and sobbed right in front of me. I had no idea what that man was talking about. 32 years later, I can tell you this, I'm a happy, happy, happy man. I ain't been right in 12 years now. Sometimes I even have to ask her, am I happy? Oh, you better believe you're happy. Okay. I was just checking with you, Buttercup. I gotta call my friends up. I can't go golfing, but I'm a happy, happy, happy man. And don't get me wrong, we argue. You've got to argue in your marriage. You don't argue in your marriage, it'll build up in your brain over time and fries your brain. Yeah, and then you wind up like those babbling, mumbling couples you've seen in Arizona, Florida. These 50-plus years of marriage, they're kind of walking down the street. The wife is fine. It's the poor husband 8 feet behind her that scares me to death. This poor man's all hunched over, he's vibrating, mumbling. Oh, he's telling me what to do. Well, I'm gonna start telling you what to do. I'm a man, you can't tell. I'm a man. This poor guy's starting to try to win back all the arguments he's been throwing away for 50 years. You know, he was 6'3" when he got married. Now he's 4'1". Look at the poor man. Weighed down by half a century of apathy. Leave a toilet seat up if I want to leave a toilet seat up. Tell me what to do. I hope you sit in the water every night. I don't care. And that's when she turns around. What'd you just say to me? I didn't say nothing to you. Scary. You have to learn how to communicate. That's the word, communication. You have to learn how your spouse communicates. That takes time. Men and women communicate differently. It took me 2 years of marriage to figure out my wife will never tell me to do anything around our home. If Tammy wants me to do something, she'll ask me a question. It's from the question that I got to stand there and figure out what it is she wants me to do. Simple example, say I leave a pair of my underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor, which frosts my wife. That's her word when she's angry. That just frosts me, Jeffrey. If I'm not frosting her, I'm driving her up a wall. That's another one. Kids would come in. Where's Mom? She's up the wall with frostbite. That's all I know. You won't believe what put her there, man. It was that pair of underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor. You're looking at the most powerful piece of cotton on planet Earth. So I leave my underwear in the middle of the room. Would she come to me and say to me, pick those up? That's 3 words. Hey, pick those up. 3 words! Would she say them? No, because that would be simple, direct, and right to the point. And at that moment, we would be communicating at the highest human level. The way God the Creator intended it, through language. She looks at me, looks at my underwear, and then asks, are those yours? I sure hope they are, otherwise I got a few questions of my own. What do you want? That's the only question a man has for his wife. What do you want? Quit talking in code and tell me what you want. My favorite question, we weren't married 2 months. I'm leaving the house. I got golf clubs on my shoulder, got golf shoes in my hand, and everybody knows what she asked me. Where are you going? I was only married a couple months. I didn't know any better. I looked at I'm going bowling, Columbo. What do you mean? If you're taking notes, that would be the wrong answer. An hour later, I was still in my living room. Come on, tell me, what is this about? Please, let me know, please. I can make the back 9, just let me know. It's about knowing the right answer. That's why your beautiful, intelligent wife would ask such a banal question. I know better today. If I'm leaving the house with golf clubs on my shoulder today and Tammy says, where are you going? We'll put these in the car, baby. I'm gonna come back and mow our lawn. That's what yeah. Just practicing leaving for golf. You gotta know your love language. I read a book. Some guy wrote a book, Dr. Gary Chapman wrote a book called 5 Love Languages. According to Dr. Gary Chapman, there are 5 languages of love between a man and wife. Tammy and I read that book twice in 1 week because we didn't see our love language in there. Yeah, apparently bitterness, sarcasm, not part of Dr. Gary Chapman's love life. That's all I noticed. My father used to give my brother and I food my sisters didn't have to eat. He called it man food. It was sardines in a can. And he said, I said, I'm not eating this. He said, it'll put hair on your chest. I'm 8 years old. That a good thing? He said, every man wants hair in his chest, boy. Really? Yeah, who knew in the 21st century all the men would be waxing all the hair off their chest? I want to meet the first man that ripped the hair out of his chest. I really do, because I'm going to punch him right in the face. In a Christian loving way, of course. Tammy says to me about a year ago, she goes, I want you to look into the waxing thing. That's what she said, sir. I want you to look into the waxing thing. I honored my wife. I looked into the waxing thing. Came back and told her, get used to the pelt. It's not going anywhere. Are you kidding me? Have we lost our minds as a culture? We spend billions of dollars to have somebody rip the hair out of our body by the root. That hurts. But we won't let our federal government drip water on the faces of terrorists. You know what? I think the CIA needs to open up some spas around the world. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You know, Ahmed, before we send you back to the battlefield as part of the new Western civilization catch and release program, you're in luck. The U.S. government's gonna clean you up today, my man. Those 72 maidens you're dying to lay with in the next life, they don't want to lay next to a throw rug. So get in the van, my hirsute little friend. We're going to the mall. Just a thought. So full disclosure, I got waxed. I know. Tammy kept pushing it, and she finally said the magic words. She said, I think it would be sexy on you. Look, my wife and I have been married 33 years. Sexy is not a word often used in our home. Our idea of sexting is we send pictures of desserts to each other on our cell phones. I'll get it back from her. Is that a 6-layered carrot cake? So I don't care what it is. If my wife said to me, you know, a face tattoo would be sexy, I'm getting it done. That's all I'm saying. There are 3 billion women that inhabit planet Earth. I only care if one of those women thinks I'm sexy. That's it. Her. So I made a decision when she leaves town, I was going to surprise her. I said, I'm going to get waxed. I got on the Google. I looked up the waxy people. Found Michelle. It's Michelle. Don't make the mistake of calling her Michelle. Apparently I hit a sore spot. So Michelle gets me all ready to go. Lathered up, got a piece of tape there. She says, you ready? I said, yeah, you know. She goes, I've never had that happen. I tried to scream and nothing came out. I got to figure there were dogs 2 blocks away going. Sounds like another man's getting a wax job. With Michelle. It hurts so bad, I'm telling you. And then she starts to put another piece of tape on me and I can't. I ended up tapping out like a wrestler. I'm packing out. And then I found my voice. I said, no! Get away from me, you sick woman! Don't touch me. Ouch! That's what I wanted to say when I couldn't say. I was gonna quit, I really was. I was gonna leave, and I looked in the mirror and I had this white strip. It looked like a name tag with no name on it. It was just, and all these weeds around it, you know. So you're locked in, I couldn't stop. Anyway, she just says, I can take my time. I go, don't take it, just get it over with. She cleans me up, I look in the mirror, I was pink, sir, I was pink, I was raw pink. I look like a flabby piece of bazooka bubblegum. And all I can think of is she thinks it's sexy. Okay, no accounting for taste, but I'm all in. So the next day she came home from the road, I wanted to surprise her. So I went in the bathroom, put on some shorts, I took off my shirt, I'm standing there in shorts, no shirt, trying to get her to notice while we're conversing. She looks at me, she says, are you having a stroke? I said, no. She goes, oh, what'd you do? I said, I got waxed. Ew. That's not the reaction I was looking for. What's ooh? She goes, oh God, put a shirt on, it's creeping me out. She goes, you look like Patrick from SpongeBob, Jeff, come on. Patrick's not sexy. The things you do to honor your wife, sir. Never again. Are you kidding me? Any man in this room over 40 knows if you would have actually showed up for a bike ride when you were 12 wearing a helmet, you would have needed the helmet to keep your head from caving in while your friends were pelting you with rocks. Dorco, what's with that plastic hat? Cut it out. Cha-ching, cha-ching. You dented my basket. I'm telling my mom. I had the pleasure of growing up in America before the lawyers took it over and ruined it on us. And yeah. In my day, if a kid fell off the monkey bars and chipped a bone in his arm, that was tragic, but it was funny to the rest of us. Certainly wasn't reasons to take the monkey bars off the playgrounds. We all did dumb things. That's how you learn not to do dumb things. C.S. Lewis said suffering was God's megaphone. That's right. You do dumb things, it hurts, and then you learn not to do it. But we're the most painted verses. I'll give you an example. When I was 12, someone told me get a ball jar, canning jar. Find some dry ice, put it in the jar, put the lid on it. So I said, what's gonna happen? They said, it's gonna blow up. And I said, cool. Where do I get dry ice at? And they said, the ice cream man. So one day I heard the ice cream man coming down my street. I run out with one of my mother's canning jars, and I asked, you got any dry ice? He said, what you gonna do with it? I said, I'm gonna put it in this jar, I'm gonna put the lid on it, and it's gonna explode. Ice cream man says, oh, here's your dry ice. That's the America I grew up in. Yes. And of course, that night, my mother was at our kitchen table picking shards of glass out of my forehead. And my father came walking in. How'd that happen? Someone told me you put dry ice in a ball jar, it'll blow up. So knowing that, you were just staring at that jar, waiting for it to blow right up in your face. Yep. What am I raising, a moron? Could see why you'd think that. I never did it again, because that'd have been really dumb. That's how you learn. My nephew's coming by. This poor kid's 11 years old. I look at him, where's he going? My sister said rollerblading. I thought he was gonna disarm a nuclear device. Poor kid looked like the Michelin Man. Foam, rubber, plastic everywhere. She says, I don't want him to get hurt. I said, hurt? He could take a semi at 80 miles an hour in that outfit. Falling on concrete is supposed to hurt. See, that's your incentive to learn to stay upright on the rollerblades. They've ruined everything. Playgrounds. I took my granddaughter to a playground. What happened to playgrounds? The slide is 5 feet high, made out of plastic. She would go 4 inches and stop, 4 inches and stop, 4 inches and stop. That's not a slide, it's a scoot. Wee papa, wee papa, wee papa, wee papa. What did we have? We had a 6-story high solid steel structure. About mid-July, mid-July would hit a temperature of about 285 degrees. You lose 2 layers of skin on the way down. Another layer when you hit the ground like a flat rock on a pond. Come back picking gravel out of your thighs. Yeah! Now it's wee papa, wee papa, wee papa. I wanted to shove her down the slide. I did. I wanted to shove her so she'd know what an exhilarating feeling of sliding. And I felt 6 iPhones on my back. Go ahead, old man. We dare you. It's nuts. Car seats, I'm not against car seats. I'm just telling you, I'm tired of strapping my granddaughter in like a NASCAR driver to drive 2 miles to get a Diet Coke from the mini mart. She's 54 pounds. I'm gonna get a hernia hauling her in and out of the state. What age can you take them out now? 5, 7, 18? Here's your high school diploma. You get to ride home like a big boy today. I mean, come on. Car seat, we didn't even have seat belts. I walked the back seat of my mother's car for 4 years. She'd be driving, I'd just be walking the back seat side to side. Sure, every now and then she'd hit the brakes, I'd fly up into the front. She'd toss me back like a trout. What are you doing up here? Get back there. I got pulled over by the police. I'm not making this up. I got pulled over by the police because it was a sunny day and my granddaughter was in the back seat with sunshine through the window, and the policeman said, I'm not gonna write you up this time, but you need to have a sunshade to protect her from the sun. I go, what? Are you kidding? I almost got arrested. I said, you're kidding me. This is a joke, right? When did the sunshine become this evil thing? We didn't have sunscreen. You know what sunscreen was when I was a kid? Dirt. That's what it was, dirt. And why? Because we would eat dirt and it would get all over our face and protect us from the sun. And then we'd wash it down with water from a garden hose. And then I'd take a bath, put on my asbestos pajamas and go to bed. And look how I turned out. The only kids we had to worry about the sun were the redheads, the gingers. You'd hear them sizzling like bacon in right field out there. Rusty, you might want to get in, and the kid run off the field like a leper, pieces of him falling off, We still didn't put sunscreen on him. We gave him a snow cone. Rub it on, you'll be fine. It's nuts. I mentioned my grandbabies. I am a grandfather, and anybody here that's a grandparent knows those are the most special people on the planet. They really are. And they're the most heartwarming. And I can tell you where I was and what time of day it was when my granddaughter, the first grandchild we had, said my name, Papa. She was in the bathtub. We were watching her. She was at the house, and she was splashing around in a tub in the early evening. And my wife calls me into the bathroom. She says, "You got to hear this." And my little granddaughter's sitting there, and Tammy says, "Evelyn, who is that?" And Evelyn goes, "Papa." I'm telling you, man. I started crying. And that's when Tammy said, "You need to get a blood test for that low T stuff." I'm not kidding you. She says, "You need to go get tested for low T." And I said, "Sir, I honored my wife. That's what you do. You honor your wife." I got tested, blood test. Anyway, they call me up and they go, "You don't have low T." I go, "I don't?" And he goes, "No, you have no T, none, zero." We had to retest you, it was so low. They told me I was elevated in estrogen. I had high estrogen levels and no testosterone, which explained all the HGTV I had been watching. Yeah, my friends would call me on Sunday, "Hey man, the Bears are on." I'd go, "No way, man, Chip and Joanna got a special." So I said to the doctor, if I do this T thing, what will it do for me? And he said, "You'll be like a 25-year-old man again." I went, "Really? Will I be that stupid?" Because I got to tell you, I don't think my body could survive my 20s again. I really don't. He says, "No, you'll be like a 25-year-old. And I go, "Really? I got a 58-year-old menopausal wife at home. Think I should consult her to see if she wants a 25-year-old man chasing her around?" She'd finally put a knife in my chest and end it. I know she would. And the next thing you know, she's on Dateline trying to defend herself. You ever watch Dateline? I'm telling you, the whole franchise is spouses killing each other. That's it. Men, watch 5 Datelines with your wife. You'll look her right in the eye. "We doing all right, you and me?" I'm telling you, that menopause, I didn't see it coming. I really did. There are nights that I lie in bed and dream about the good old days of PMS. Trust me. There are weeks that go by, I cannot get her home cold enough for her body. I'm telling you, there's not enough Freon in the world. If there's a hole in the ozone, it's over the roof of my home in Tennessee. It's 48 degrees in my bedroom. I got meat hanging off my curtain rods. She walks in and turns on some 64-bladed fan she installed. I had to bolt the furniture to the floor to keep from getting sucked up through the roof. She stands in the middle of the room. "Why is it so hot in here, Jeffrey? Why is it so hot?" I can't see her because of the fog that's coming out of her mouth. And then she wakes me up to feel her night sweats. Is that even necessary? I'm sound asleep when she zips my parka open while I'm laying there. Wake up and feel this, Jeffrey. It's disgusting. Look at me. There's like a furnace in me or something. You're lucky you don't have to go through this. You know, I wouldn't if you'd quit waking me up and telling me about it. I could sleep right through the perspirating. I could. Doesn't make a lot of noise. Oh, and one night I wake up, there's a human being at the foot of my bed. 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you've ever had this. There's a full-grown human at 3 in a dark room. I almost had a heart attack. It was her. She's at the foot of my bed, cutting off the bottom of her flannel pajamas with scissors because they were sticking to her sweaty legs. And this demonic thing was coming out of her mouth. I'm not kidding. I grabbed my sons the next day. I said, "Mom's going through some serious stuff here." Like what? Remember those nights you didn't do your homework? She'd get mad, yell at you real loud. He goes, "I remember that. This is different. She might be crying and then stab you."